that in Austria also is being the host nation, but we wish all the luck and all the best, all foreign countries for the fifth leg of the FEI Nations Cup. On behalf of the Federation Equestrian International, we are delighted to welcome you to the FEI Champion Nations Cup Youth Qualifier here in Lamprechtshausen. It is with great assistment that we discover the rising stars of tomorrow as this 2022 season unfolds. The FEI Champion Nations Cup Youth Series provides an essential foundation for our sport, teaching young athletes the importance of teamwork and companionship, all while allowing them to gain experience at international level. It is thanks to the organizers, partners, volunteers and officials that we can provide such an incredible platform for our youth stars to come together and shine. This series offers an opportunity for our young stars to work together as a team, create unforgettable memories, and kindle a fire for future international representation and success. We wish every nation competing in the FEI Champion Nations Cup Youth Series the best of luck.
Well, welcome back everybody to this FEI Youth Nations Cup series. This is the fifth leg of the series in this 2022 season, taking place in Lamprechtshausen in Austria. This is the final competition of the weekend in the Youth Nations Cup series. We of course have had the children's competition, the young riders and the ponies. Now here we bring you the juniors. Germany are leading the overall season standings in this category as well as in all the other sections. The depth and quality of the German young rider field is pretty outstanding. They have been able to send a team to every single leg of this Nations Cup series so far. They are the only nation to have been able to do that. So far they've posted 2 second places and 2 fourths at junior level. That gives them an overall total of 320. 320 points for Germany. Belgium are just behind them with 190, and Switzerland hot on their heels with 180. But we have 9 teams coming forward here this afternoon. 9 different teams, all of which have 4 riders, and therefore we have 36 horse and rider combinations coming forward.
Junior Nations Cup,
Of course they go in a drawn order in this first round. Then in the second round the top 8 teams will go forward and they'll jump in reverse order of merit.
By Kidam de Revel and Linus Hanselmann, Team Switzerland.
So Switzerland are the first team out of the starting gate. They are the first team to take to the stage. Remember, we have all of the first riders for the teams jumping first, followed by all the second riders, and so on until we have had all 4 riders from each team. And that really means that we can't quite see what the results will be until the very end. It gets very, very tight and very tense on the 3rd and 4th riders. First rider in for Switzerland then, the first rider for the first team today in this junior competition is Linus Hanselmann with Kiamont. Linus rides, as I say, for Switzerland and was on the Swiss team at the European Championships. Switzerland were placed 3rd at our second leg of competition at Gola Minore. Linus was on that team too. Posted a clear and a 4 faulting round with this very horse, Kiamont. Linus is also no stranger to the top level, to the championship level. He competed with Walk For Me KZICH in the Youth European Championships at Villamoura. Was on the silver medal winning team there. The water jump caused some problems in the pony competition, and that's a similar line that was in the pony competition as well. 8 is the total for the first rider for Switzerland.
For the team
Linus Hanselmann kicking things off.
And Linus Hanselmann. And now, first to go for the host team for Austria. The Westphalian mare, She's a Lady, by Staccato, is written by Thomas.
So we go now to Austria.
Team
The second team in, with their first rider being Thomas Himmelmeer. It's the Austrian team's first Nations Cup appearance of the season, competing here on home soil. Austria were third in the Children's Nations Cup yesterday, so they have had some success already in these competitions. We'll take a little look around the course then, just while Thomas Himmelmeer is competing. Here he is coming to fence 3. That's this triple bar. Then 4 is that upright, classic question of adaptability there. 5, then another related distance. And then again another related distance from 6 to 7. 4 strides in that distance. Left-handed then to the double at 8. 2 strides in that combination. And then a right-handed swing round to this grey oxer at 9. Ooh. Goes then to the triple at 10. 2 strides between a pair of uprights, then 1 stride to an oxer. Then another right-handed turn to the water jump in the middle of the arena, and fence 12, the upright to finish. Thomas Himmelmeer, She's a Lady, the first rider for Austria, just clips the last as well, but they're within the time allowed. The time allowed is 74 seconds. It's a total of 20.
She's a Lady, 20 penalty points for
Thomas Himmelmeer.
Austria. Next to go,
our third team out then
the successful rider
will be Germany. Germany, of course, the overall season leaders. Their first rider is Naomi Himmelreich. Germany were 13th at the European Championships. None of those riders, though, coming forward here. Clenur is Naomi Himmelreich's mount. Naomi is one of the younger riders in our field. She's 15. And again, she was at the European Championships last year. But there was on the children's team with Cornets Edel, 6th placed team. Germany so very consistent, as I say, 2 second places. Ooh, she was really standing off the water. Of course, a hoof in the water will incur 4 penalties as well. Competes then with this 16-year-old gelding, Clenur. Just the one fence. Well, no fences down, just a foot in the water.
Germany.
For the German competitor. Moving quickly on then to our next team.
For all safety keeps and all the riders.
The next rider is
International Jury and the International Court has done the decision. New time allowed 70 seconds. New time allowed.
Just hearing there that the
only
time allowed
70
has been
seconds.
amended. The time allowed is now 70
Yves
seconds.
Sticky, Irish sport
Naomi
horse
Himmelreich,
by
our
Womanizer and
our
Timon
competitor
Voss,
for Germany,
the Netherlands.
finished in just within the time allowed as per our previous time, but we'll just confirm if any of those scores change for you as we get the information. Timon Vos then is the first rider out for the Netherlands with I've Got the Key. Timon Vos rode this horse also at Villamora. For the Netherlands, they came 12th, this combination of course on that team. Timon Vos also on the gold medal winning team at the 2019 Europeans. That was with the horse Theo 149. Also jumped this horse at our first leg in the junior category at Centaur Park. There he had a fence down in the first round and 5 to add in the second. So a fence down so far. We're still looking for our first clear. Timon Vos within the time allowed. That new time allowed is 70 seconds. Just the one fence down for Timon Vos.
In time. And the Team Netherlands with 4. Team Poland next to go. The Dutch one-blood mare Girl by Quality Time and Alexandra.
So Alexandra
Wiplo,
Wiplo is next in. She is the first rider for Poland. Again, another rider who was at those European Championships on the 10th placed team with Casaleo Z. Here though, she rides Girl RV. This is the horse that she rode on the Nations Cup team at Gorla Minore for that 5th place for the team. Girl RV is an 11-year-old mare by Quality Time, and the dam sire is Verdi, very well bred horse. Jumped up to 145 height. Remember, these fences are 1.40 m. That's the height of the Junior Nations Cup fences. Poland as a team are 7th in our overall season standings. But things are really quite close. Poland are on 150 points, but above them 3 teams, Ireland, France and Italy, are all on 155. So with a couple of those teams not being represented here, it could be a chance for Poland to leapfrog their way up the leaderboard. 2 fences down for Alexandra Wiplo. That's the start for the first rider for Poland. 8 is her score.
The Girl.
Yeah, the double there's causing a couple of problems. Again, they've got to be able to lengthen and shorten the horses' stride. They've got to make sure that the horses are adaptable. They've got to make sure that they're listening to them as much as possible. Now it's the turn of the European gold medalists from the European Championships at junior level. This is for Belgium, Louise Lennartz. Belgium bring a different team forward here. A totally different team to the European Championships. But they've been going well so far in this Nations Cup season. They won the first leg at Centaur Park. They were second at our second leg. That, of course, was last week in Fontainebleau. So 2 very, very strong performances. Belgium have gone really well so far this season in a number of the young rider categories. They had a tricky time earlier today in the pony competition. But their first rider here is Louise Lennartz. She rides Mabel van het Molenhof, who is a 10-year-old mare by Figaro C. They won their most recent competition, which was at Centaur Park back in April. Could this be our first clear then? Louise Lennartz comes to the last. Oh, she just clips the final fence. Oh, she looks really frustrated with that. It was very, very close.
Last fence down.
We're still looking for our first clear.
Mabel van het Molenhof.
Just the one down then for Belgium. 9 teams coming forward here. Remember, 9 teams in the first round. 8 will go forward
Next
to the
to
second
go,
round.
the Chessman girl, 12 years old.
We have had
Laura
6
Naimanova,
riders come
Czech
forward.
Republic.
6 of the first riders for the teams have started so far. The 7th will be for the Czech Republic. This is Laura Najmanova. And Laura rides Lafray. Riding, as I say, for the Czech Republic. Three of the team riders here also competed at the third leg of this series. The third leg, of course, was their home competition in Zduhovice. Laura rode this very horse, Lafray, at that competition. She had a fence down in the first round, but jumped clear in the second round. Ooh. Just was getting a bit of a deep shot, and the horse really having a very good look at the fence. So she will wait now for the course to be reset, just for the pole to be put back on the fence. Czech Republic are 9th in our overall season standings. Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, and she was a little bit unlucky, Laura Naimanova.
Perhaps Lafray may have taken a bit of an aversion to the water tray there, but it's 2 refusals and sadly elimination for the first rider out for the Czech Republic. Remember though that all of the teams here today have 4 riders, and therefore the Czech Republic still have 3 riders to come, so it's not all over. The final 3 riders for them though, all of their scores will count. Over to Italy now, the penultimate team in our starting order. Their first rider is Cecilia Bossi. This is Cecilia's first appearance for Italy in the junior category this season in the Nations Cup standings. She rides Chicago du Theatre. She did compete this horse at Gola Minore in a few competitions. She was second in the 140 Grand Prix there, the Junior Grand Prix. Italian team were 7th at the European Championships. They won the leg in Gola Minore. That was their home leg. They were 6th at leg 3. Italy also won the Young Rider competition yesterday in very tricky conditions. The rain really set in, and it was a really tough environment. It was a really tough competition for the young riders, but the Italian team emerged on top. Cecilia Bossi gets off to a pretty good start, just the one fence down for Italy.
Cecilia Bossi and
It's Italy level with Germany, the Netherlands and Belgium. Those 4 teams all on a score of 4 from their first riders.
And in the course now, the last rider of the first round of every team, Gate L, the Dutch girl by some pace ETN, is written by Lauren Caroline.
So we go now to Great Britain. They are the 9th of our teams coming forward on the starting order. The 9th team to bring forward their first rider, and that first rider here is Lauren Caroline. Lauren was on the 4th placed team at the Pony Europeans last year with Kissimmee Chatterbox. Here she rides Gate L. And this is the first Nations Cup appearance of the year for her. With Gate L, she's been competing up to 2-star level been jumping in Bonheiden in Lier. With this horse. Getting quite cemented up to 140 level. It's an 11-year-old gelding by Zambezi TN. The horse has jumped up to 1.55 meter level. Previously ridden by Shane Breen of Ireland and by Jack Ryan. First rider for the British team though. Unfortunately, in the junior category in Fontainebleau, the British team were eliminated, so it'd be great to have.
And also the great team of Great Britain, Lauren Caroline and Gate L closing for penalty bank.
So
after the first ride
for
of
Laura
every
Caroline.
team
All
in the
of
lead,
the first
Great
riders
Britain,
have gone, and we are
Italy,
still
Belgium,
waiting for
Netherlands,
a
and
clear. We
Germany
have
four,
5 teams
Switzerland
on 4
and
for their
Poland
first
with
riders.
8,
Those teams are Germany,
Austria with
the
20
Netherlands,
penalty points,
Belgium,
and
Italy
Czech
and
Republic
Great Britain.
with
Good
no
start for the British team.
result.
Switzerland and
Next
Poland are on 8,
the
Austria are on
Oldenburger
20, and the Czech Republic
Stagenta
opened their
by
account
Staccadol,
with
written by
unfortunate
Anna
elimination for their
Siegmann,
first rider. That
Team
was Laura
Switzerland.
Najmanova. But it's not all over yet. Now we're going to turn to the second riders for each team. Back to Switzerland. And to Anna Siegmann. Anna rides PB Stagenta. Switzerland are third in our overall season standings. They're on 180 points. They're just 10 behind Belgium. So the result here could absolutely shake up the leaderboard. Germany are on 320, so they won't be able to be caught by any of our teams, not even by Belgium. Switzerland's first rider was on 8. Anna Siegmann, this 18-year-old rider, now bringing PB Stagenta. The horse she took to the European Youth Championships in Fontainebleau in 2018 was Najero's Hire. But very recently she won a 140 class with this horse at Gorla Minore. So they're on form and they're coming to the last.
And
our first clear! Absolutely brilliant performance. Anna Siegmann gives us our first clear. With PB Stagenta, we said that they were on form, and they show that form here again.
Ja, jetzt ist das Fundament
8
gesetzt
and a clear for
für
Switzerland.
das Team der Schweiz, PB Stagenta.
Looking
Anna
strong for the Swiss
Siegmann.
team.
Ohne Fehler.
Austria then,
Und
the
das
home
Team
nation,
der Schweiz bleibt bei 8
have been drawn
Punkten.
second in this starting order. Their
Cloud
first
over
rider,
Berlin. Now in the course, Westphalian Gelding by Berlin.
their first
And for
rider,
Austria, Sarah
followed Linus
Messner.
Hanselmann, was Thomas Himmelmeyer. Thomas picked up 20 penalties. This second rider is Sarah Messner, who rides Cloud over Berlin. Another rider who went to a European Championships a few years ago, 2019, running in Zuidwald, riding Chiara 323. Cloud over Berlin is a 13-year-old gelding by Berlin. And the dam sire is Sandro. This, of course, is Austria's first appearance in this Nations Cup 2022 series. They also weren't present at junior level at the European Championships. Ooh, a huge jump, almost unseats Sarah Messner at the water. Gets it back really well, so a clear for Austria. They'll be hoping to drop that score of 20.
Nur die Schimmel springen in den
Sarah Messner
Himmel.
absolutely performing under
Laura
pressure
Messer.
for the Austrian team.
Fantastic ride.
Brilliantly
A clear
done.
round for Austria. In time.
So now we go back
And here kommt
to
Lacrosse,
Germany, to our
Bavaria
ranking
Gerling,
leaders,
Balowski
our
Damm,
season
Sebastian
standing
Honold,
leaders.
Germany.
They have had one rider go so far. That rider, of course, was Naomi Himmelreich, who just dropped one pole. Their second rider here is Sebastian Honold, and Sebastian rides Lacrosse 10. He jumped this horse in the Grand Prix, the 140 Grand Prix at Gorla Minore, for an 11th place. The horse is by Lord Quidam. And was ridden by Tim Honold in the past. So a fence down then for Sebastian, with two riders having a very deep shot there. Another pole falls. So with that in mind, when we see the second riders going, that's when we can see the kind of the minimum score that the teams will count, because of course they can drop one score. Their drop score could change, but now with a 4 faulting round and this 8 from Sebastian Honold of Germany, that means Germany,
at the end for
even
the
if their
team,
last two
Germany,
riders jump clear, will
Lacrosse
count
and
at least
Sebastian
4 from the first round.
Honold.
Switzerland and Austria both have a clear apiece.
And then we see
So
the
potentially could stay
Zangerside
ahead.
Quint van Het Marloset,
But it's very early days and things could all
ridden by
change with the
René
third and fourth
Halseger,
riders.
the Netherlands.
René Hazeleger of the Netherlands is next in, with Quint VH Marlow Z. The Netherlands are now on a total of 4. That's the score of their first rider. They're quite a way down the season standings. Oof. Bit of a miscommunication there. It looked like Quint VH Marlow Z had a very good look in the bottom of that fence. Often you find that a triple bar jumps very well, but they can certainly be rider frighteners if you like, and they can certainly cause some problems. They can look pretty intimidating. René's been competing this horse in 2-star competitions, most recently in Liège. And they were 11th in a 2-phase there, 2nd in a 135 speed class. Second attempt then at the triple bar for René Hazeleger. Yes, good at the second time. Remember, the time allowed is 70 seconds, so with that refusal, unless she goes exceptionally fast, it's highly likely that she will pick up some penalties for time as well. Two uprights to an oxer in the triple combination. It's easy for them to have an eye on the oxer and know that they need the impulsion there, but that makes the first 2 fences fall so easily. They require very accurate riding. A little over the time allowed as well then for René Hazeleger of the Netherlands. That will be the score that the Dutch team would ideally like to drop now.
Halseger.
Score of 17.
Doravella is in the course now. The Polish Warmblood is ridden by
Netherlands
Iga
will count at least 4.
Migalska.
They're in a similar position to Germany. Poland up next. Their first rider picked up 8 penalties, and their second rider out here is 16-year-old Iga Biegalska. Iga was on the team at the third leg. The third leg being in Zduhovice, helping the team to that second place finish. She jumped a double clear there, but that was with the horse Canabaz. Here she rides Doravella. And this was her ride at the European Championships. The team placed 10th at the Europeans. Iga also jumped at the 2019 Europeans. Plenty of them finding the distance between the A and B elements a little short, but Iga has the Oxa there as well. Good to the last one, the time's good. 63.26 is our fastest time so far. But that is not what they need unless the fences stay up. 8 is the total
next to go, the Holter
for
Caredina
8 for the second rider for Poland.
by Caredino
Replicates the
and
score
Ines
from the first
Van
rider.
Dijk.
Poland will count at least 8 from this round. We go now back to Belgium. Belgium, another team with a score of 4 from their first rider. Remember, they're second in our season standings. They are the European Gold Team medalists, but this is with entirely different riders. Ines Van Dijk, the second rider, unfortunately has the first fence. Long way round if you've had a first fence down. She rides Caratina. Caratina is a 17-year-old mare by Caratino 2. And Caratina, you may recognise the name because this horse was previously ridden by Gilles Thomas of Belgium. Gilles Thomas doing very, very well this season so far in the senior competitions. Jumps on a Global Champions Tour team, but he's been on the podium in those competitions already this season at 5-star level. Ines Van Dijk though, 1 down so far. She's got 2 fences to go. Ooh, a good look at the water. Yeah, and a splash in the water picks up 4 as well. She's just inside the time. 8 is the total, so Belgium count at least 4. They have a 4 vaulting and an 8 vaulting round. They wouldn't mind dropping the 8.
12 points at the moment. Nasty Girl Demuse, the next mare in the course, Belgium mare by
For the Czech Republic then, the next rider is
9
Katarina
years of age, and
Bubakova.
Katarina Bubakova, Czech Republic.
Katarina jumped in the junior competition at our 3rd leg for the Czech Republic with this horse, Nasty Girl Demuse. Oh, another rider having the first fence. This mare is just 9 years old and is by Darko. Previously ridden by Jordi van Massenhove. But they dropped just 1 pole in the 2 rounds in Zduhovice. This round not quite going as they might have liked. Remember, the first rider for the Czech Republic, Laura Najmanova, she was eliminated, so this score has to count for the Czech team.
12
Well within the time, very fast. That is now our new fastest time. But 3 fences down for Katarina Bubakova. gives the Czech team 12.
And the Czech Republic has 12 at the moment. Nico Chico van de
Italy up next.
is in a cause,
The
9
second
years
rider for the
old
Italian team
Belgium,
is Gloria
gelding by
Curzola.
Diamande Sevilli and Gloria Curzola, Italy.
Gloria rides Nico Chico van der Padenboer. Again, it's her first Nations Cup appearance of this season, but also of her career. Jumped at Gorda Minore at that show where we had one of the legs of this Nations Cup series. Came 19th in the Grand Prix with this horse. Nico Chico van den Padenboer is another 9-year-old, 2 9-year-olds in a row, with some pretty impressive breeding. Diamant de Semilly is the sire and the dam sire is Quidam de Revel. Italy have a score of 4 from their first rider. And they won the leg at Gorda Minore. They were 6th at our third leg in Zdujovice. Oh, I thought she was going to have the control there for the triple, but a couple of fences down in that combination. Gets a bit flat to the last as well. She's inside the time.
60 points for the team Italy.
And so if that proves to be the drop score for Italy, Italy will count at least 4. The only teams who potentially could finish on a clean sheet now are Switzerland and Austria. Of course, it is still to be seen what our second British rider does. Plenty of teams in a very similar position, so it's absolutely wide open at this stage. Evie Marie Denton is the next rider for the British junior team with Indigo. It is also Evie Marie Denton's first Nations Cup appearance. The British team, oh what a shame, that first fence again. The British team would really love a good result here. Sadly they were eliminated in the junior competition at Fontainebleau. And so a good result here is really what they could do with to kickstart their 2022 Nations Cup campaign. Evie Marie Denton just now needs to wait for that fence to be rebuilt. She's on 12 so far. This horse is another 9-year-old, a 9-year-old mare. She took on the ride from Anna and Charlotte Platt. Anna Platt competed this horse up to 3-star, and Evie Marie Denton took on the international career with this horse in 2022. So it's quite a new partnership. We're at fence 5 here. Great to see them getting over that fence. The combination at the bottom of the arena. This related line. Oh, yeah, a bit long there. Now comes to this double. The British junior team were, of course, the bronze medalist at the Europeans. Ooh. It's quite costly for
At the
time.
end,
The
it
total
was
is
31
31
penalty points, including 11 for time, 80
for
point to
Evie Marie
9,
Denton
second
of
for
Great
Eve
Britain.
Marie
But
Denton, and
it might
in
not all
the
be over for the
goal.
British team. Their first rider, of
After-
course, posted a score of 4.
After two riders
that
of every
may well
team
be
in the lead,
drop score.
Switzerland with 8, Belgium and the Czech Republic with 12
We
penalty
start
points,
to really see the lie of the land
Poland
when we
and
have
Germany
these third
with
riders
16,
jumping.
Italy and Austria with 20,
Of course, they can drop
Netherlands
one
with
score.
21,
But we can
and
see
Great
which
Britain
two
with
they are likely to count.
35 penalties.
And so we're back now to the first of the teams
Vital
in our
Horse,
drawn
Mon
order.
Amour,
The first team to bring out their third rider
12 francs,
is
Sieg
Switzerland.
gelding by Lando and Lou Buch, Team Switzerland.
The third rider for Switzerland is Lou Puch. Lou rode at legs 2 and 4 of this series, but on the pony teams. Switzerland, of course, won the silver medal for juniors at the European Championships. And Lou was also on the 12th placed team and was 5th individually. At the European Championships in Villamora. That was at children's level, though. That was with this horse, though, Vital Horse, Un Amor Lagula. So she's experienced right the way up the levels. The horse has jumped up to 1.55 m too. Previously ridden by Thomas Levesque of France. The clears are proving to be pretty elusive in this competition. Well, that is quite uncharacteristic of 2 fences down for Lou Puch, the third rider for Switzerland. So we've had all of the second riders go and one of the third riders, and we still only have 2 clears. That is 2 clears out of 19.
Austria.
It's been a very tricky course set by
Here's the
Franz
Ocean
Mall and
American
Hannes
Rose
Fuchs.
by
They, of course, are the Austrian
Blanco
course design
and
team here.
Annika Neuhofer, Austria.
Back to that home team now. For Austria, this is Annika Neuhofer. Austria have a score of 20 and a clear so far here. Another clear would definitely be very, very useful. Annika rides Dawn Rose. Took this horse to Gorla Minore and rode on the in the Nations Cup. They had 8 in the first round and a 4 in the second round there at Gorla Minore on that 4th placed Austrian team.
12 for the team
is
Austria.
the total. So with that in mind, that means that with a 20, a clear and a 12, if the final rider jumps clear, and if Austria drop the score of 20, they'll finish on at least 12. Would put them a little bit behind Switzerland, a fence behind. But again, we have not had the final riders.
In the course now, Clayton, the Holstein, lead by
Roth is next in
Clearway,
with
and
Clayton
Mika Roth
36
for the team
for the
Germany.
German team. Mika was on the team at our third leg. With Clayton 36. They just dropped 1 fence over the 2 rounds of competition there. Mika, though, was on the silver medal winning team, the 2019 Europeans gold medal winning team at Fontainebleau in 2018 with a couple of different horses. Clayton 36 is a 15-year-old gelding by Clearway. Germany, the ranking leaders, and they've been very consistent. But this could be a bit of a shock result.
30
Just a fraction over the time
all
allowed,
together
so
with 1 for
13.
exceeding time allowed, 70.3 second Mika Road and Clayton.
So if that proves to be the drop score for Germany,
we have
they'll count at least 12.
for the team of Germany. The FEI Nation
At
Junior
least 12
Nation
for the
Cup
German
is
team.
powered by Fixcraft, and we welcome the representative of the Fixcraft company, Mr. Bertolt Kirchtag. Justik is in the course now. Dutch gelding
Going
by
forward now
Pustik
to the
and
Netherlands.
Jorinde Dolphin,
Are
the Netherlands.
fourth team on our list, and their third rider is Jorinde Dolphin, who rides Justik. The Netherlands have a score of 4 and a score of 17 so far. Jorinde was on the gold medal winning children's team at the Europeans in 2019 at Zuidwald. Has a fence there though. The horse that Jorinde rode to those championships was Providence. This though is a different horse. One fence left and a fraction within the time allowed, so 4 is the score for the Netherlands. As it stands, if they can drop the score
Netherlands
of 17, the Netherlands will be on 8 for the first round.
25 funny points at
But that's a big if.
the
That would
moment.
need their final rider to
Guido
jump clear,
next to
and we
go,
know
and
that jumping
ironically
clear
by
is
Clyde
not
and
easy
Elisa
around this course. Only 2
Zawadzka
riders
in Poland.
so far out of 22 have jumped clear. 1 for Switzerland. That, of course, was Anna Siegmann, and 1 for Austria, Sarah Messner, jumping clear on home soil. Poland are our next team. And their third rider is Eliza Zawadzka. Eliza rides Guido. Poland have 2 8-vaulting scores so far. Guido is a 13-year-old gelding. He's jumped up to 145 height, previously ridden by Alexandra Zybala and by Jan Bobik of of Poland. But a fence down so far. Poland, remember, on 2 8-vaulting rounds. This triple combination is causing a lot of problems. The distances in there are quite short. Could be close to the time. Yeah, final
12
fence down as well,
at
so
the end for Elisa
12.
Drawacka and Kvido from the team
That means that even if the final
Poland.
rider for
And
Poland
it's
jumps
28
clear, they'll
everyone
count
at
at
the
least
moment for the team
16 to
Poland.
8 vaulting rounds and a 12 so far for Poland.
Van de Keulsiegen is in the course, Belgium here by Toulon. And Rick Nauta, Team Belgium.
The third rider for Belgium is Rick Nauta. Rick Nauta rides Noisette van de Keulshagen. And Belgium have a 4 and an 8 as it stands. With this horse, Rick Nauta went to Centaur Park earlier in April. Jumped a few 140 classes there with this horse. It's a 9-year-old mare by Toulon, and the dam sire is Darko. Great breeding. Jordi Oostervogels of Belgium also took this horse to those breeding championships in Lanaken in 2018. So the clears are still proving pretty elusive.
8
the total for Rick Nauta of Belgium.
And we have
Belgium will count at
20
least
for
12.
Team Belgium at the moment.
As it stands, that would have them a
We
fraction
see
above
BJ
Poland.
now in the
Very
course.
close in this
Chestnut
competition.
Mare is ridden by Rosalie
And the fences are falling
Brichtova,
all
Czech
around the
Republic.
course. We go back to the Czech Republic then now. Their third rider is Rosalie Piktrova, who's a 15-year-old rider. The horse is Queasy PJ, who is another 9-year-old, a 9-year-old mare. Only a horse that Rosalie has been competing internationally since the start of this year. Remember, the first rider for the Czech Republic was unfortunately eliminated, so this score has to count. 16. Czech Republic will finish this first round of competition on at least 28. They're going to be rather out of contention.
16 penalty points for Rosalie Brichtova and Queasy PJ for the team of Czech Republic, and the Czech Republic with 28. So far, Recom Delavare now in the course.
Italy is the next team to take to the stage. Their third rider is David Vitale, and he rides Rencum Delaware. This is David's first Nations Cup appearance of the season, but he did take Rencum Delaware to Gordon Minore, came 26th in the 140 Grand Prix, 5th in another 140 class. Horse is 15 years old. Took a steadier approach and 8 strides down to the triple, but still has that first fence. It's so tricky, this line. It's really catching so many riders out. The triple combination is really proving difficult. So if Italy can drop the score of 16 from their previous rider, David's score of 4 there will count and they'll be on
to go for the
8.
third riders in the first round.
But that would only be
by
if their final rider can jump
Great Britain.
And we know that that would be a really, really big ask, because out of all of the competitors, out of 26 competitors so far, we still just have 2 clears. It's a very tough course. 1 clear for Switzerland, 1 clear for Austria so far. Phoebe Farman is next in. She rides for Great Britain and rides Diarra Sue. Phoebe was on the bronze medal winning British team. That was the children's team at the Europeans at Zuidwald in 2019. But that was with the horse Calais. Here she rides Diarra Sue. Diarra Sue is a 12-year-old. 12-year-old mare by Diarrado. The horse was previously ridden up to 2019 by Tracy Priest. Ridden on a score of 4, a 31, and from Phoebe Farman. She's good to the last, but she's a bit over the time, so it's 10.
71.45.
Great Britain have a 4, a 31 men now, a 10. Score of 10 from Phoebe Farman. They'll count at least 14.
After 3 riders of every team in the lead, Team Switzerland with 16 penalty points, 24
It's quite
Belgium,
difficult to actually give a total
for
at
Italy,
this stage.
25 for the Netherlands,
I know that the arena
Poland,
announcer is giving the overall totals
Germany,
from 3
32
riders, but
for
actually,
Austria,
of course, they will drop a
45
score.
for the team Great Britain. Now
The Czech Republic, for example, don't actually have 3 scores counted because their first rider was eliminated.
And here is
Also, Austria have a 20, Great Britain have a 31, and so they will certainly be looking to drop those scores. Now, though, we are down to the final riders. We are down to the riders that really make it count. This is when we can find out exactly what score these teams will take forward from this first round. And of course, it will decide the starting order in the second round. One of these teams will not go forward. We have 9 in the first round. Only 8 can go forward. The final rider for Switzerland then is Alia Lorino. Alina rides Imposant STR, another rider who competed at Zuidwald in 2019. She's had a couple of top 10 placings with this horse recently, up to this height of fences. They were both at Gola Minore. Imposant STR is a 9-year-old mare by Verdi. We have had a horse whose dam sire is Verdi, now this one is by Verdi. Good few 9-year-olds in the field. Ooh. Was she in the water? Yes, she was. Within the time allowed, though, the total there for our final rider for Switzerland is 8, and therefore they'll drop one of the scores of 8. They'll finish this round on a score of 16. Switzerland third in the overall season standings. Of course, they won't be able to take the season lead, as Germany is so far in front, but A good result could shake things up below that. Now we go to Austria, to the home team. Their final rider is Lisa Marie Arvai. She rides Chakili Z. She rode this horse to a 4th place for the team at Gorla Minore in the Nations Cup. Also came 4th in the Grand Prix there. Well, Austria have a clear on their scoreboard, but they won't be having another. Chakili Z is another 9-year-old. We have a lot of 9-year-olds in the field, so it's actually also a great opportunity to see some up-and-coming young horses. Relatively young for this level. It's by Chaco Blue and the Damsire Cardento. Austria have a 20, a clear, a 12, now a 17 vaulting round.
70
So they'll
points,
drop the score of 20, they'll count the clear, the 12 and the 17. They'll finish this first round on 29. The final rider for Germany is certainly one that we would expect to see in the final rider position. Experienced rider Eva Kunkel.
DSB Apovikapi by Ascari and
She
Eva
was at the
Kunkel,
Pony
Germany.
Europeans in Stregom last year. 7th for the team and 7th individually with the pony Katniss 8. But Eva Kunkel in the juniors here today rides DSP and Pai Kapi. This horse is 15. And Germany have a 4, an 8 and a 13 vaulting round. In the pony competition at Gorla Minore, Eva Kunkel rode Magic's Boy ST to the winning team. The best result here would be a clear for Germany, and that would keep them, she's close to these fences, would keep them on 12. Just has 2 fences left. Eva Kunkel, could she give us our 3rd clear? She'd be a rider you'd pick to do it. Oh, has the last! Plenty of riders having the final fence. Agony for Eva Kunkel of Germany. So they'll drop the score of 13, they'll count a 4, an 8, and now another 4.
Close with 20 parallel bonds the first round. JK Horse Rocks Hopeful, Belgium by Mr. Blue, and Jersey Kuipers, the Netherlands.
We're just hearing, in fact, now that the rider Sebastian Honnold actually had 12. That was an amended score. So Germany will finish on 20. Has them behind Switzerland. For the Netherlands now, the final rider is Jersey Kuipers. Jersey rides JK Horse Trucks Hopeful. The Netherlands have 2 4-vaulting scores and a 17. They'd love to drop the score of 17. The best score for this first round so far is Switzerland. They're on 16. Austria on 29, Germany on 20. This is a careful little horse. Good to the last, but it's 4 to add. 4 for the Netherlands. So they'll drop the score of 17. They'll count 3 4 faulting scores. Puts the Netherlands on 12.
The first round, and
it's quite a kind of high faulting competition, this. We're having a good few fences down. Still just 2 clears.
Rocky.
And we only have 5 riders left to go. The next of those is the final rider for Poland, Klara Koziol. Who rides Rocky. She took Rocky to the Europeans in Zuidwald in 2019 and Fontainebleau in 2018. So a horse that she's had for a little while now. Poland have 2 8 faulting rounds and a 12. But this horse has been talented from a young age. It's just a 13-year-old and it's already been to 2 European Championships, now on a Nations Cup team. She ended up very deep to those second 2 elements. It's a very tricky line. Slips over the last to keep it up, so 8 for the final rider for Poland. So they'll drop the score of 12
24 penalty points at the end for the team Poland,
and they'll count 3 scores of 8. That gives them 24. The Netherlands are leading the way with their 12 penalties. But we could see other teams going ahead of that. Belgium are one that could go level. Their final rider is Leon Brutzert. Leon rides Corleone Tour Vidal. Again, been jumping in some interesting competitions, a lot in Oliva recently with this horse. A 3rd in a 140 there. A 5th in another, and also a 6th, so has a little trot stride in the double by the looks of it. So some good top 10 finishes recently. Belgium have a 4, an 8 and an 8 on their score sheet as it stands. This horse has got all the scope to get the height over these fences. Oh, a fence late falling. Lucky over the time as well. A couple of seconds over the time allowed. Exactly. 6 is the total.
For the team Belgium.
For Leon Brutzert. So Belgium will drop one of their scores of 8. They'll count a 4, an 8 and a 6. And their team total in this first round is 18.
So far.
That has them in 3rd as it stands, behind the Netherlands on 12 and Switzerland on 16. 3 riders left to go in this first round of competition. The next is Petra Parenikova of the Czech Republic. Petra rides Zita. Petra competed on the young rider team at the third leg of this Nations Cup series. And the Czech Republic sadly had their first rider eliminated, so they have a 12 and a 16 to count, and they will count the score of Petra Perenikova and the 10-year-old mare Zita. Another combination who've had 2 top 10 finishers individually recently, Ian Zdujovic just a week ago. Oh, a fence down. Once they've had one down in that triple combination, they are tending to have another. Eight is the total for Petra Perenikova. So, of course, they discount the elimination, but they count a 12, a 16 and an 8. That will have them on 36 from the first round. Has them at the back of the leaderboard as it stands.
The last to go for
Czech
Team
Republic
Italy,
may well be the
Dakota
team that don't make it through to the second round. Remember, we have 9 teams here, 8 to go forward.
Martina Schirinzi, Italy.
Martina Schirinzi is next up. She's the penultimate competitor in this first round, and she rides for Italy. Her ride is Dakota van Schutershoff. Who is a horse that she has been competing at Gorla Minore, but not in the Nations Cup, in some other competitions there. Ooh, a refusal at 4. It's not the first time we've seen that. Arena team quickly getting the fence back together. Sometimes these very airy fences can be quite difficult for the horses to judge, so 4 for a refusal so far for Martina Schirinzi and Dakota van Schutershoff. Ooh, really rubs it, but it stays up. The Van Schutershoff part of this horse's name comes from the dam sire Kashmir van Schutershoff. Horse was taken to the Young Rider Europeans in 2019 at Zuidwold by Ignazio Uboldi. Some big jumps, and Martina's doing well to keep her seat around some of this course. .22 is the total score for Martina Schirinzi. That's the score that the Italian team will want to drop. So they'll count 2 4-faulting rounds and a 16. It gives them 24 from this round of competition. Well, our final competitor, the final competitor in this first round and the competitor for Great Britain,
The
is
result for
Patrick
the team
Thurston.
Italy after the first round, 24 penalty points. The result
Patrick Thurston
for Martina Schirinzi,
takes
22 penalty points, including 10
the
for time.
final
Last to go for the
slot
team Great
for
Britain.
Great
Patrick
Britain.
Thorsten and
Great Britain on a
Chaplin
4, a
Lindell.
31 and a 10, which in other competitions you may think is a fairly high counting score, but actually, since our leaders, the Netherlands, are on 12, a good round from Patrick here would certainly have Great Britain in a competitive position. He rides Chaplin
Starting
Delot.
time for the second round, juniors 5:45. 5:45 starting time for the second round.
Chaplin Delot is a 7-year-old. This is the youngest horse in our field. Patrick Thurston has been riding this at a few two-star competitions. And before that, Nigel Coupe was riding. A fence down would put Great Britain into equal third, but a clear would put them into second. Patrick Thurston on this very young but talented horse comes to the last. Oh, he jumps clear.
Clear on the obstacles.
Great jumping round, but picks up 3 for time. Great jumping round though for this combination. What a performance from the young horse. Great Britain dropped the score of 31. They'll count a 4, a 10 and a 3. And they'll count 17 for this first round of competition.
After the first round,
that has them in third.
With 12 penalty points. Second place, Switzerland with 16. Third, Belgium with 18. Fourth, Germany with 20.
So it's a high vaulting competition this. We have the Netherlands in the lead on 12.
Sixth, Italy
We
and
have
Poland
Switzerland
with
in second on 16. We have Great Britain in third on 17. Belgium take the fourth spot
Not in
with
the
18.
second round, the team of the Czech Republic
And Germany
with 36.